I'm James.
And I'm Emily.
We show you our actual weight loss journey with the keto lifestyle.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
And get ready.
Set keto.
Alright, so it is Thursday.
It is.
June 30th. Which means that 2 days ago, on Tuesday, we celebrated our 1 year
Ketoversary.
And we was thinking of what we could do. And maybe we'll still have a party.
Maybe. We might.
But first, we wanted to list our top 7 mistakes that we've made on the keto diet.
We've been talking a lot and wanted to share the mistakes that we have found that we have made during this journey over this past year.
Most of these were in the beginning.
But it's a continuous process, and there's always room to grow and always room to learn something new.
All right, so our very first mistake that we made was we didn't take pictures until like October.
Right. Pictures or measurements.
We didn't take measurements until even after that.
Yes, much later. And I really wish that we would have done pictures from day one.
So if you decided that you want to do anything for your health, any change of diet or anything like that,
it's just awesome to go back and look.
We wish we took pictures and took measurements from day one, rather than just hiding and being ashamed. We should have had them because we wish we would have had them now to look back at. Number 2, all right, in the beginning, every week for like the first month and a half that we were on keto last summer,
we made a fatal mistake.
I don't think it was fatal, but looking back, it wasn't the best thing to do. It
was a bad mistake.
Every week when we lost weight, we rewarded ourselves with whoever lost the most weight got to pick where we went out to dinner, and it was a cheat meal.
Don't do that.
So we rewarded ourselves with bad food in the beginning.
Just to basically punish ourselves in the same breath because we would feel bad. So
what happened was for me, I can speak for me, every week when I would start to, start feeling better, lose a little weight, I would reward myself with bad food, which in the beginning sent me right back into the keto flu, week after week for like 5 weeks.
Yep.
So it was in the beginning of the week, I felt horrible because we had a cheat on Saturday.
Right.
And then towards the end of the week, I was feeling good. And then I'd go back and we would go out to eat, whether it be whatever we wanted, that's what we had for that one meal. Now, we was good and consistent of keeping it to one meal and leaving it there. No doggy bag, nothing like that.
Right.
But
it was left.
It was kind of punishment still. Even though it was a reward, it was punishing us because
it was setting us back, first off.
Yes. It would take a few days just to get back to where you was. So it limited our weight loss. It limited how we felt. And we set up a bad routine of rewarding ourselves with the very thing that we were trying to get away from.
Yes.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3, fat.
We did not start with enough fat.
Yes.
We always went back to a regular diet. And
your standard American diet
yes.
You need to eat less calories, less fat.
Less calories, less fat, and mixed with a keto lifestyle. If you're not intaking fat and you're not intaking carbs, you feel miserable.
Yes.
Which contributes more to the keto flu.
Yes. And I also learned over this year that the more I ate, the more weight I lost. As far as fat and protein or calories.
Which brings us to number 4. Sometimes we didn't eat enough. So in the beginning, I was losing 3 and 4 pounds a week. I remember one week I only lost 0.8. And that was like the week that I tried the hardest to eat less. Yes. And it was like the least amount of food that I ate, the less my weight loss was for the week.
Right.
So a lot of times we would cause our own stall. It just gets in your head. You got to eat less. You're on a diet. Well, which we know is no longer a diet. It is a lifestyle.
Right.
But we would eat less food. We'd have less results.
This is something that I still struggle with.
Not only that, but it was less energy.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely something I'm still working on.
Yes.
So this is a mistake that we have made, and it's still a mistake that I tend to make sometimes because I have a hard time getting that out of my head that I need to eat more. Even though I do better and I feel better when I eat more, for some reason I still struggle with that.
You still kind of get in the rut of everything you've heard your whole life, that you have to eat less in order to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
And it still creeps back on you.
Right.
At least it did us. Now I just eat when I'm hungry.
Yes.
Net carbs.
Net carbs. That was definitely a mistake that we did in the beginning. I know it works for some people, and that's great. It really worked for us in the beginning.
It did. You can fall into the net carb trap of, you can be eating less than 20 net carbs, but still really be teetering on 100 total carbs for the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of the games they play with the food.
Yes.
So anyway, we do
total carbs.
We do total carbs from now on.
Yes.
And on a heavy carb day, we would do like 30 total carbs. But during the week, it seems like, between definitely, 5 and 20.
Right.
Total. Number 6.
Trying to replace foods.
So, yeah. Number 1 would be bread. Trying to hang on to the bread and the tortillas.
Yes.
With keto options. And they just they're never what you think it's going to be. It's just a disappointment.
This is not always the case. In the past, we've tried different things, and it was just either the net carbs were low, but the total carbs were high. The ingredients were bad. We didn't like the taste of it, and it was just kind of a disappointment.
And it was replacing stuff with things that we probably shouldn't be eating anyway, such as the, keto candy bars.
Keto junk.
Yeah, keto junk food. Things that we probably just needed to eliminate to begin with, that we tried to hang on to.
Mm-hmm.
That, has its place somewhere. It's obviously...
There are some things, such as, like, egg light wraps. That is something that I do try to buy every week. That is something that I enjoy for my lunches.
But for the most part, getting the low-carb tortillas and stuff like that, stuff eventually set us back.
Yes.
A little bit. And
ultimately, we think we would have
done better.
Had better results if we did not make these mistakes.
Or waste money. We spent a lot of money trying to make the protein-sparing bread.
Yes.
Which ended up...
We wanted to like it, and...
No matter how much we tried and
no matter which recipe we tried.
We just didn't like it.
It just isn't for us.
So sometimes you're chasing something that just would have been better off just left
sticking
alone.
To truffles.
And last was electrolytes. Electrolytes took us a while.
It did.
And it was one of the things that I was waking up cramping every night.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand why. And then I realized that electrolytes are a big part of the things that needed on the diet that we're on.
Yes. Not just cramps, but in the way that we feel.
So electrolytes are very important, and don't forget them.
Yes. And there's options if you don't want to have the drinks. The Relight drinks. You have your Keto Chow drops or supplements that you can take.
We use Keto Chow, Electrolyte drops. We use Redmond Relight. So, yeah, that's our 7 mistakes that we made looking back on a year of keto.
Yes.
So,
always room for improvement, and I'm sure we'll find more.
Hope you like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.
Yes.